Hello, this is Jake and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to the start of a new series. As you can see in front of me, we have a lot of model railway items, and that's because this new series will be focused on building a model railway. In this series, we will be looking at building a model railway, doing the scenery, electrics, everything model railway related, to be honest. I have two different scales here, O gauge and 00, 176th being 00 and 143rd being O gauge. The model railway that I will be building will be O gauge, and I will in a minute take you a closer look at where I'm building it and go through some of the details and track plan and everything. Obviously O gauge is a bigger scale than 00, so there's less room, but at the same time O gauge is more realistic and ideal for realistic photos. So if you're interested in learning how to build your first model railway, or just trying to pick up on some tips of how to, add detail, do the ballasting, do the scenery, static grass, then please do subscribe to my channel, because we are in lockdown in the UK at the moment again, and I decided that in this lockdown period I would be building another model railway and doing it all for my YouTube channel. So if you really want to learn stuff or just want to see how it's all going to turn out, then please do like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you if you do. So we have several items in front of me, and the reason these are all here is because a lot of it's my original stuff I had as a kid. I done model railways 22 years and then gave it all up. I didn't give it up, I sold it to buy a car. But I never got rid of my original stuff I had as a kid and what got me into the hobby. So this set here by Hornby Railways, the Roar Rambler, I had this set back in '97. There's the loco right there, the little red tank engine, and from that set it kept building and building, as model railways do, expanding, getting bigger collection and everything, right up to, well, we'll take a look in this series of what I've built over the years, but I got right up to a point where I was doing a realistic location and it was looking really good. And then obviously I decided to sell it to purchase a car, but I never regret that decision. And the reason I'm going back to it is because I do enjoy it and I want to do something else on this model channel. A big thank you to Vincent Blick, who's lent me this lovely Haugen Class 37 in BR green here. It's a lovely model, and I did ask him if I could borrow one of his lovely locos out of his collection for this series, and he basically gave me a choice of anything, and I said a Class 37 because that's one of the locos I will be buying for the layout, which we'll have a look at in a second. So this will be in this series until the end of lockdown at least, and we'll take a look at it in more detail later on in the series and probably do an unboxing on it, along with unboxings of other items such as wagons and scenery items and everything like that. So without me keep rambling on, I'm going to take the camera now into my old workshop, and we're going to take a look at what I'm doing, what I'm planning, and hopefully what it should look like when I'm done. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be building the O gauge model railway. Now, I have 7.5 foot that way and 10 foot along that way. However, you can see that I've put this board in here, which is going to be the backdrop of the model railway. And that'll be painted and sanded down and everything, so it's lovely and smooth. The reason I've done this is because I could have just left the board bare and then put a scenery break all across the back, but this is going to look cleaner for when I'm taking photos and running trains and doing videos and everything like that. So that's the reason that is all like that. Now, I've gone for O gauge. I've got several O gauge Pico track here, streamline track, like the points and some flexi track. No buildings or nothing yet. So I will show you the track plan, which is over there. Because it's O gauge, it takes up more room. If I was doing 00, I could fit a lot more in, but I don't want to make it too cramped. I don't want loads of track and everything. Even this at the moment looking a bit too much track going on, and I don't want to do that. So once I start lifting the boards up, the track's going to be about this high anyway on supports, and then we'll build the scenery around it. I don't like flat model railways, the track just don't. I want to build the scenery up and everything, like have a brook here. The track's all going to be one level, but the scenery around it will look hopefully realistic. And I'm probably going to try and go for a frosty cold morning as well, just to add that detail. So that should be very interesting. Now I've decided to go for, obviously I'm doing this based in Britain, so British locos and wagons. That's what I'm into. I do like the American stuff as well, especially the modern American. But I've decided to go British, BR Blue 70s to 80s, so BR Blue era. And I will take the camera off the tripod and give you a good pan around in a second and just point out some of the places, and then we'll take a look at we'll probably take a look at the track plan first. But so this is the location, this is where everything's going to be filmed. This side of the room at the moment is still quite dirty, but the cameras will be set up all over so you can see what's happening. There'll be a lot of speeded up stuff as well, so we can sort stuff out. And then obviously I should talk about DC and DCC in one of the episodes in this series, which we will have a good look at. But I will be doing this DCC sound layout, just for, again, the realism. So what I'm going to do now is take the camera off the tripod, and I will walk around, hopefully not too shaky for you all, but give you an idea where everything's got to go, and we'll have a quick look at this track plan as well. Okay, so here's the track plan. Yes, I'm no artist. It's not to scale, nothing's been measured or nothing. It's just to give you a very rough idea how things could look from a bird's eye view. So if you look to the right over here, we have a tunnel. Now the track will go off into a slide filler yard with 3 or 4 lines where I can just move forward and backwards to allow whichever train I want to run onto the scenic section. So we have a point here as soon as the trains will come out the tunnel. Now following the left track will take you around to a halt, a small station, which will only be about the length of one carriage, one coach, which will be used mainly for a class 121, which Dapol are releasing in a couple of weeks. If we go back over here to where the other track goes, we'll go past a signal box over a small level crossing here. The road's probably going to end up going this way, just for more scenery detail and everything. And I want to get some pictures of my 1/43 scale model cars. So this track will go over into a left-hand point and then 2 sidings. These sidings will be quite overgrown, not being used as much as they used to, but will still be used obviously for running trains and moving wagons or whatever's going to be stored in here. I do have an idea of probably, if I was to extend this later on, which I have got room to do that if I need to, there would probably be a sandstone quarry nearby, and these sidings might be used for 1 or 2, well, a couple of wagons, let's say, that get picked up by a diesel later on and then moved on down the line, something like that. Scenery detail, like I want a brook which will run down along the tracks and underneath the tracks, of course. I want to really add water to this railway, not real water, but something like that. And then you got to imagine there's probably a car park here somewhere off the layout. Their passengers then cross the brook over what will be a scratch-built wooden bridge, cross the line and end up on the halt on the platform, waiting for the local train to come in. Little squares like this are just going to be your electric boxes, AWS boxes, whatever, which we'll talk about in a future video. So a small brook, there might be a building over here, or I did think of having probably a building that's really run down or partially destroyed, just over here. The idea is this is somewhere probably in North Yorkshire that's out of the way, no towns really nearby. So just a small station. It's completely fictional. There's no it's not going to be based on anything really, just completely a fictional railway. So the scenery will be up and down, but the tracks will be the same level, so there's no gradients to worry about. We will look at radius of curves as well, but they are going to be pretty gentle anyway for realism. But that's the idea. I will have because it's going to be DCC sound, it will be controlled by a handheld controller anyway. We'll take a good look at controllers and everything, and the different options you can buy. The bridges here, I don't know if it's going to be a double bridge yet. It might be a double bridge, we'll see, or it might just be one bridge with 2 tracks going over. But that's the idea, and that's what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, and we will just take a look around to show you where I am. So please excuse the shaky camera, as this is not on a tripod. So this is where the fiddle yard will be once it's all cleaned out, and it'll be on a board where you can slide the track to whichever track you want. There'll be about 3 or 4 tracks, and then the train can come out onto the scenic section. Tunnel portal will be right there, work its way down, let's say the back track at the moment, work its way across. The level crossing is going to be roughly about here, and then the road will curve off and over here. The signal box is going to be right there next to the road. Then the track at the back here will go off. There'll be a bridge about here roughly, probably, like I said, a single bridge with 2 tracks. And then you got the point, which will be the 2 sidings for storage, quite overgrown. Then if we move back around to the closest track to us, this will be for the passenger service, and again probably a class 121 DMU service, and we'll have a halt station. Now the track's actually got to be closer this way, because this flexi track is slowly worked its way back to as straight as it can at the moment. So once it's all pinned down and everything, it should be fine. But it'd be a platform across here, quite a worn down station, but we'll have a couple of passengers. And then, like I said, there'll be a crossing roughly about here, a bridge that crosses what will be a brook here, and then off the board, and the brook will work its way and under the track. And please remember that this track will be probably around this height anyway, so you got the background and everything. But so there you go, that's just where I am at. Like I said, there might be 1 or 2 buildings, maybe 1 here, maybe something over there, or just scenery. I don't want to overcrowd anything, don't want to keep adding buildings and track. I want to keep it simple. So there we go. Okay, so there we go. That is an introduction to the start of the new series on building a model railway. I'm really looking forward to starting this one, and I will be filming episode 2 from later on today or possibly tomorrow, and that'll be up very soon. So let me know what you think of this idea. There will still be other stuff coming on the channel with the Trumpeter Titanics and that, but this is kind of my lockdown project. So please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more on this model railway and everything, or other stuff on the channel. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I really want to get started today, but there's a few other items I gotta wait for. And we will be doing some unboxings of like the Class 37 here, which again was lent by Vincent Blick, and there'll be a link to his YouTube channel in the description. And you can check out his O-Gauge model railway set in the garden, which is quite nice, and we will be visiting it as soon as lockdown is all out of the way, and we get some better weather, of course. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Can't wait to get started. I shall see you all very soon with episode 2. And yeah, bye for now.